I want you to understand something deep right now. Your life is a result of the habits you keep, not the dreams you chase. See, we're living in a world where people scroll through inspiration but never apply it. But let me tell you something. Change doesn't come from what you read. It comes from what you repeat. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to start with 6 small things. Let's see, 6 daily disciplines. Things that don't need applause. Things nobody will praise you for. But they stack. They compound. And in 21 days, you start to feel it. Not just in your body, but in your spirit, in your decisions, in the way you walk into a room. Let me be clear, this is not about motivation. Motivation fades. This is about habits that forge discipline. And discipline, that'll save your life when motivation goes silent. That's what saved mine. There were days I had nothing. No money, no job, no home. But I had a routine. I had structure. I had 6 simple habits that made me believe you might be broke, but you're not broken. And that difference, that mindset, that changed everything. You don't need to do everything today. You just need to do the right small things today and do them again tomorrow. Because I promise you, 21 days from now, you won't just feel different, you'll be different. Let me break this down for you. Success is not about waking up one day and becoming a millionaire or a leader or an author or a boss. Success is about the pattern, not the performance. What you repeatedly do, even when nobody's watching, sets the tone for your life. People love to talk about breakthroughs, but what they forget is that breakthroughs are built brick by brick through boring, consistent effort. You don't need to move mountains, you just need to move your feet every day. And over time, those small steps become a journey. That 10-minute walk becomes better health. That daily journaling builds clarity. That simple budget builds freedom. Small habits are compound interest for your character. One good decision won't change your life, but 1,000 small ones, that will. You're not waiting on a miracle. You're waiting on yourself to build a pattern strong enough to carry your future. You know what I've learned the hard way? People want big results, but ignore the small responsibilities. Everyone wants change until they realize change comes disguised as routine. But the truth is, the smallest habits hold the biggest truths about who we are. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. That's why people fall short every January. They set dreams, not disciplines. You say you want to write a book? Cool. But do you sit down and write for 15 minutes a day? You want a strong mindset? Then do you meditate, reflect, or read even 1 page a day? The small habits reveal your true priorities. They expose your values. They either show you're serious or just talking. The gym doesn't give you results. Showing up does. Life doesn't change with a wish. It changes with a habit. And if you can master the little things, you'll never fear the big ones again. We all want momentum, right? That feeling where everything starts to flow and you finally feel like you're winning. But momentum doesn't come from motivation. It comes from movement. And that movement starts with the micro. I'm talking 5 push-ups. I'm talking putting your phone away before bed. I'm talking drinking that water instead of another soda. That small decision you make today creates emotional momentum. And once you start stacking those micro wins, your brain gets addicted to progress. Not perfection, progress. One win leads to the next. That's how you build rhythm. That's how you get out of a rut. You can't control the outcome of your life overnight, but you can control your morning. You can control your first decision. And that decision, that's the domino that knocks the next one over. Stop trying to leap mountains. Kick the first stone. That's how momentum is made. One small act of faith at a time. Here's the secret nobody tells you. Your habits create your identity. It's not just about doing something different. It's about becoming someone different. You want to be more confident? Then you have to do confident things, even when you don't feel like it. You want to be disciplined? Then start acting disciplined in tiny moments. Because every time you follow through on a habit, your brain says, that's who I am now. You start rewriting the story you tell yourself. No, you're not lazy. You've just been loyal to the wrong habits. But that can change. It has to. You're not locked into the past unless you keep repeating it. And you change your story not by rewriting the whole book in a day, but by changing the words you live by every morning. Discipline isn't just about routines. It's about remembering who you're becoming. Small habits aren't chores, they're declarations of identity. People love to say time heals all things. No, it doesn't. Time only passes. It's what you do with the time that heals, builds, transforms. The most dangerous thing you can do is wait for a better time. Let me ask you something. How long have you been waiting to change? How many years have you wanted to feel stronger, think clearer, live freer? Change doesn't come with time. It comes with behavior. It comes with that daily 5 a.m. decision to beat the snooze button. It comes when you write even when the words don't flow. It comes when you choose the hard thing over the easy excuse. Time doesn't change people. Tiny decisions do. And when you chain those decisions together, they become habits. When you chain those habits together, they build a future. So stop counting the days. Make the days count. Because you're not running out of time. You're running out of habits that serve you. Let me leave you with this. Success is not some magical destination. It's in your reach right now. But here's the catch. So is repetition. You can keep repeating the habits that drain you, delay you, or define your past. Or you can choose new habits that align with where you say you want to go. Nobody's going to force you to choose right. That's on you. You get to decide if you'll keep scrolling or start studying, if you'll keep complaining or start acting, if you'll stay in the cycle or build a system. Because your habits are the seeds and your future is the harvest. What are you planting today? You don't have to know every step. You just need to start with 6 small, intentional ones. Do them daily. Protect them fiercely. Because in 21 days, they'll start to shape your mind. In 90 days, they'll build your character. And in a year, they'll transform your life. Let's get something straight. Everything you're fighting for is either won or lost in your mind first. That's the real battleground. It's not the job interview, not the bank account, not the relationship. It's whether your mind is trained to respond with discipline or emotion, with strength or surrender. That's why 21 days matter. You're not just changing what you do, you're reshaping how you think. Every day you choose discipline, you're building mental muscle. You're taking control back from anxiety, doubt, and laziness. And let me tell you something. When your mind is disciplined, your circumstances stop controlling you. You control you. Life gets hard, and when it does, your emotions will try to lead you. But that's when your training kicks in. That's when 21 days of practice becomes power. Discipline is doing what you said you'd do, especially when the mood you set it in is gone. That's when transformation begins. Here's what most people don't understand. Repetition isn't boring, it's brain science. Your mind is like a GPS, it follows the route you give it most often. If you keep feeding it anxiety, it'll default to fear. If you feed it action, it'll default to movement. The purpose of 21 days isn't to be perfect. It's to start sending a signal to your brain. This is who we are now. That means when you wake up early, your brain rewires. When you pray, journal, read, stretch, or reflect, your brain rewires. It learns, it adapts. That's neuroplasticity, not just motivation. But don't miss this. The same thing happens with bad habits. If you repeat procrastination, your brain makes a home there. So, choose wisely what you rehearse. Because whatever you repeat becomes your reflex. And once something becomes a reflex, it doesn't take willpower. It takes identity. And identity, that's when the change becomes permanent. Let me tell you the truth, most folks won't. Confidence doesn't come from hype. It comes from habit. When you do something every single day for 21 days, you're not just building routine, you're building trust in yourself. You stop breaking promises to your own reflection. And that's what real confidence is. It's not loud, it's not always visible, but it's steady. You don't have to tell people what you're doing, they'll feel it. They'll see it in how you walk, how you speak, how you respond when life throws punches. Consistency is a mirror. When you see yourself show up 21 days in a row, you start to believe, I can count on me. And that belief, that's priceless. Because when you trust yourself, you don't wait for permission. You stop hesitating. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for dreaming big. That's the kind of power only discipline gives. You earn it day by day. You can tell me what matters to you, but I'll believe it when I see your discipline. That's where your real values live, in how you spend your mornings, in what you do with the first 30 minutes of your day, in what you say no to when no one is watching. That's what 21 days of discipline will show you, what really matters. It exposes whether your dreams are just talk or they're backed by action. Because when you choose discipline over distraction, you start living by priorities, not pressure. You start choosing purpose, not popularity. And here's the kicker. Discipline isn't just about doing hard things. It's about doing the right things consistently, even when the wrong things look easier. That's how clarity comes. You stop trying to do everything. You start doing the few things that matter most. Discipline doesn't limit your life. It frees you to finally live it. Let's not sugarcoat this. 21 days is a fight. It's a test. And the real question's simple. Who's in charge? Your feelings or your future? Every morning, every hour, you'll be tempted to quit, to skip, to delay. And that's the moment discipline speaks. Because discipline doesn't need comfort. Discipline only needs commitment. The first few days are fueled by excitement. But then comes the silence, the grind, where nobody's clapping and nothing feels new. That's where most people quit. But you won't. Why? Because 21 days isn't about finishing something. It's about becoming someone. Someone who can be trusted with responsibility, with vision, with legacy. And if you can win this test, if you can lead yourself even when no one's watching, you'll never be the same. Because self-leadership is the foundation of every dream. In those 21 days, they'll prove to you that you're no longer ruled by emotions. You lead with discipline now. Once your mind is trained, everything else follows. People think they need to change their environment first, their income, their friends, their boss. But the truth is, you change the mind, and the mind changes the world around you. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop blaming and start building. So that's the real gift of 21 days of discipline. It's not just a streak. It's a system that protects your peace, a system that unlocks your time, a system that makes success predictable. Because you don't rise to the level of your vision, you rise to the level of your system. And that system starts in your mind. 21 days from now, you won't just think differently, you walk different. You might feel different, you might think different, you might walk different, you might think different, you might think longer, you might think shorter. And that system starts in your mind. 21 days from now, you won't just think differently. You'll walk different, you might think different, you might 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 walk, you'll lead different, you'll live different, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. And if you can do 21, you can do 90. If you can do 90, you can do a year. And if you can do a year, you can do anything. Everybody's got a dream. Some want freedom, others want success, peace, or purpose. But here's the truth. Your dream isn't waiting on the future. It's waiting in your routine. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for consistently. That thing you keep saying you want, it's not locked behind some secret code or magical moment. It's hidden inside the little choices you make every day. You don't write a book in one night, you write it sentence by sentence. Day after day. You don't build wealth with a lottery ticket, you do it with discipline, budgeting, and investing little by little. Most people spend their lives chasing inspiration when they should be building structure. Your routine is the real blueprint. If you want to see your future, don't look at your goals, look at your calendar, because how you spend your 24 hours is shaping your destiny. There's a dangerous myth floating around that change comes from big dramatic action, but real change? It's built on boring, repetitive habits. That means the person you're becoming is shaped not by your intentions, but by your routines. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. If you wake up late, skip your priorities, scroll for hours, and call it a rough day, that's not just a bad moment, that's a system. And systems shape your identity. But the good news is you can rewrite the code. Start small, wake up 30 minutes earlier, turn your phone off during your focus time, move your body, feed your mind, speak life into your own situation. Do that for 21 days straight and watch your confidence shift. You are not the product of your potential, you're the product of your patterns. And patterns don't lie. They either build your future or block it. Life isn't about having more time, it's about building rhythm. And rhythm comes from routine. When you start stacking small habits together in a structured way, you create flow. You move from reacting to responding, from surviving to building. Your energy improves, your focus sharpens, your creativity gets unlocked, and most importantly, your results start to show. And that's what happens when you stop waking up to chaos and start waking up to clarity. Routine isn't restriction, it's freedom. Because when you know what needs to be done, you don't waste mental energy deciding, you just do. You stop negotiating with yourself. And that rhythm, it becomes momentum. And momentum will take you places motivation never could. So don't underestimate that morning routine, that journal entry, that gym session, that 10 pages of reading. It may look small, but it's stacking, and stacked effort always leads to stacked results. Your future rides on your rhythm. People don't fail because they lack goals. They fail because they lack systems to support those goals. You can have the biggest dreams in the world, but if your daily habits don't align with that vision, you're just self-sabotaging in slow motion. A broken routine leads to a broken vision. You keep saying you want to write the book, launch the business, get fit, or grow spiritually, but are you showing up every day? Because your schedule either honors your dream or delays it. Most people don't need more motivation, they need more alignment. You can't say you want clarity, but wake up to chaos. You can't say you want health, but stay committed to excuses. You can't say you want clarity, but wake up to chaos. You can't say you want clarity, but wake up to chaos. You can't say you want clarity, but wake up to chaos. You can't say you want clarity, but wake up to chaos. So at some point, the routine has to reflect the vision, or the vision has to shrink to fit your habits. Don't let your dream shrink. Fix the routine. Because structure doesn't limit your success, it unlocks it. Success is quiet. It's found in the things you repeat, not the things you post. Anyone can announce goals. That's easy. But building a future happens in silence. It happens when you show up to the gym and nobody claps. When you study alone while others party. When you sacrifice fun for focus. You don't need to tell the world what you're going to do. Just do it over and over again. Because your routine is either becoming a foundation or a funeral. You're either laying bricks toward your future or you're digging a hole you'll regret later. Every successful person you admire, they built systems. They honored their mornings. They repeated boring, hard things until they became instinct. That's how change works. Not overnight, not on a viral post, but day by day, one decision at a time. If you want to stand out in the future, start by showing up in your routine today. Here's the final truth. You don't rise above your routine, you rise through it. Your daily disciplines are crafting your future, whether you like it or not. They're carving your mindset, shaping your identity, training your reactions. You're not building habits, you're building a new version of you. So if your life feels stuck, it's not because you're broken, it's because your routine is broken. But the beautiful part, you can change that starting now. Pick 6 small, intentional habits, keep them for 21 days, not to impress anybody, but to prove to yourself, I lead my life, my emotions don't. Every great outcome starts with a system. Every legacy is rooted in a routine, because the most important work you'll ever do is behind closed doors, without applause, in quiet moments where nobody sees, except your future. And your future? It's watching your routine right now, waiting for you to show up. You don't need a miracle. You need a moment where you decide enough is enough. You're not stuck because you lack talent. You're stuck because you've been sleeping on the power of small daily habits. For 21 days, if you can show up, stay consistent, and honor the routine, your life will shift. Not all at once, but day by day. Because when you control your habits, you start to control your outcome. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do something and do it with discipline. That's how the ordinary becomes extraordinary. And because you do this, then your life can become extraordinary. That's how the future is built, not in emotion, but in structure. Don't chase greatness. Build it. One habit, one morning, one choice at a time. Your future is already waiting. It's just looking for the version of you who finally decided to take the routine seriously. And that decision? It starts today.